Everyone.
Good morning,
Good
Rabbi.
morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Kesubos, Perek Beis, Chapter 2, Mishna Hey, Mishna 5. Now we're going back to the subject again of Pasha Asar, Pasha Hitter, the stronger migu, the stronger proof towards one's claim that it's true. It's going to be a similar case. It's what we're going to say here is pretty similar to what we've had previously, just in a different scenario. Okay. Ha'isha sha'amra. You have a woman who said, Eishes ish hayisi. I was a married woman. Ugrushani. And I'm divorced. Now, it's important to know if a married woman says that she was divorced, we do not believe her. She's forbidden to marry another man unless she has proof of divorce, such as witnesses or divorce document. So, meaning we know this woman was married. You know she was married. She says, I got divorced. Prove it. Her chazaka, her established status, is she's married. She can't just say, I'm not married anymore. She has to prove it. Mm-hmm. Either witnesses or a get or a document of divorce. Now, in our case, she comes, we didn't know she was married. As far as we knew, she wasn't married. We had no indication she was married. However, she told us, Eishes Isha Yisi, I was married, Ugrushani, and I'm divorced. In this case, we say Nemenes, she is believed. Why? Shapesha Atzar, Huapesha Hitter. The mouth that forbade is the mouth that permits. She could have well have said, I was never married, and we would have accepted that, and she'd have gone and married whoever she wants to marry. Now, what does she do? She actually she kind of messes herself up. She says, I was married. She admits she was married, which essentially, when she says that, she shouldn't be believed anymore. But since it's Pasha Asar, Pasha Hitter, if not for her telling us that she was married, we never would have known that, and she would have been believed and could have accomplished everything she wants to accomplish without any problems. So now, when she says that I was married, but I'm divorced, we will believe her. This is the stronger migu. This is the stronger type of where we say, if she was lying, if the person was lying, they could have said a better lie. This is the better lie. It's not just a better lie, but a lie that would have won the day. A lie that would have been believed. And since she didn't use that, she used the weaker claim, we will now still believe her because of that. Now, v'myesh edim shaisa ish. But if there's witnesses that she was married, the Ameris Kurushani, and then she says, I was divorced, she's not going to be believed. Because in this case, she doesn't have that. We don't have that point of, that argument of, well, she didn't have to say that she was ever married to begin with. There were witnesses to the fact. She couldn't have gotten away with that. She couldn't have claimed I was never married because we have witnesses to that fact. And therefore, in an amena, she's not believed. She doesn't have the stronger migu. She doesn't have that stronger proof to her claim. So it's just a claim without any kind of proof to it, any kind of evidence, any kind of proof to it. And in that situation, she's not going to be believed. She told us we know she's married based on the witnesses, and therefore she cannot have claimed that she wasn't married, and therefore her claim that she's divorced has no proof to it, and therefore she is not believed to say she's divorced. Next case. Amra, she said, Nishbeisi utaherani. I was taken captive, but I'm pure. Now, this is a woman who wants to marry a Kohen. So we're checking her out. What's her yichud? Can she marry a Kohen? So she tells us, I was taken captive, then I was ransomed. But while I was captive, Taherani, they didn't do anything to me. If she was violated when she was in captivity, even if it was against her will, which assumption it is, she wouldn't be forbidden to any. She'd still be forbidden to a Kohen. To anybody else, she wouldn't be forbidden to. But to a Kohen, she's forbidden because of the fact that anytime a woman has any kind of cohabitation with a non-Jew or someone else that would invalidate her, she becomes disqualified from marrying a Kohen. Now, if we were to know that she was taken captive, so midrabanan, we would assume that she was violated. And we would just say that whether we know anything or she says anything or not, the assumption would be she was violated and she may not marry a Kohen. That assumption is midrabanan. That's a rabbinic law to assume that way. Makes a lot of sense, but the Torah wouldn't necessarily, according to the Torah law, I wouldn't necessarily have to assume that, but according to rabbinic law, we do. Now, so if we were to know that she was taken captive And she would tell us nothing happened while I was there in captivity. She wouldn't be believed because the presumed state after being taken captive is that she was violated and therefore forbidden to a Kohen, and therefore she has to prove otherwise. In our case, what happened was we didn't know she was taken captive. She told us, Nishbesi, I was taken captive and I was ransomed, Utahirani, and I remain and I'm pure because nothing happened there. And that Mishnah says, Nemena, she's going to be believed. Why? Shapesha asar hu apesha hiter. The mouth that forbade is the mouth that permits. Right? She is the one that told us she was taken captive. Without that, we wouldn't have known. If we would have asked her, "You okay to Kohanim?" and she would say, "Yeah, I'm perfectly fine," and not said anything about being taken captive, she would have been believed. She could have married a Kohen without a question. She didn't claim that, but she claimed I was taken captive, but nothing happened. Although that's a weaker claim, being that we have the stronger proof based on what she could have, that she could have claimed a better claim, a winning claim, a claim she would have been believed, and she didn't use that claim. That is, if she was lying, she could have made that much stronger claim that would have had to be believed, and she didn't. That is the proof that what she's saying now is true. But if there are witnesses that she was taken captive, meaning her claim of saying that I wasn't taken captive would not have held because we have witnesses to the fact that she was taken captive, then we say, if there are witnesses that she was taken captive, the Oimeris, and she says, but I'm pure, nothing happened, and in a menace, she wouldn't be believed. Okay? Very similar to the case before. Now, the imishanisas bo'u edim. If let's say she already got married, meaning she said Tairani, we didn't know that she was taken captive. We didn't know. And she said, I was taken captive, but nothing happened. Okay, we believe her, right? Now, after she got married. And not only that, the Bartunura says, even if they just basically decided, they made a decision, she can get married based on what they thought was a migu. And then the witnesses show up, meaning she loses the strength of her claim after she already got permission to be married. Harezer lo seitze. She doesn't leave. That means if she was married, she doesn't have to leave her husband. And it also seems to be that if lo seitze also means, it can also mean she doesn't leave her first permission. The permission she was given first time, she doesn't lose that. So this is a very interesting idea. Although we say that if Aiden were to show up, she loses the strength of her proof. That only affects to say that, okay, she's not believed, won't let her marry a Kohen. But if let's say she married already a Kohen based on what we thought that she had the stronger proof to her claim, because the witness didn't show up yet. Or we talk a paskin, we made a decision that she can get married, and then the witnesses showed up. She doesn't leave. She can still work with her original miga, with the original proof that she had. Now here in the notes, they're reading something very interesting. They say like this: we allow her to retain the permissibility that she was granted before the witnesses testified when her miga was still valid. This lenient law applies only in the Mishnah's second case where a woman said that she was captured but not violated. In the Mishnah's first case, however, where a woman claimed that she was married but then divorced, the law is stricter. If after she had made her statement, witnesses testify that she was married, she loses her migu and she becomes forbidden to remarry. Moreover, even if she had married someone in the meantime, she must leave him. The reason she is treated more strictly is that, according to the witness's testimony, she is biblically forbidden to remarry. According to the witnesses that say she was married, without being believed that she got a divorce, she's forbidden to marry according to Torah law. Mm-hmm. And therefore, in that case, we have to be stricter. In the Mishnah's second case, by contrast, the witnesses said only that she was captured, not that she was violated, which renders her forbidden to a Kohen only under rabbinic law. That's what I mentioned before. So being that when we find that she's captive, her prohibition is only based on rabbinic law, if she already, based on her claim, before the witnesses show up, we actually permitted her to go ahead and marry a Kohen, and then the witnesses show up, would say she already got her heter, she already got her permission, she can go ahead and marry him. But that's only because we're dealing with a rabbinic prohibition. But if we're dealing with a Torah prohibition, like in the case where the woman was married, and we can't believe her that she was she has no more belief that she got divorced, now we're dealing with a Torah prohibition. By a Torah prohibition, we're not going to say, well, once the permission was given, she can stay or she can continue on, because that's a Torah prohibition. In that case, we have to be stricter.
Good.
Okay. Based on what we've been discussing, we see now how people are unfortunately very lax in this. Let's say someone was damaged in his business because somebody informed on him. And he's got evidence that who informed on him and made him lose out? Another Jew. Based on his evidence that he claims that he has, he goes back and he informs on him. He informed on him that he was selling stuff in the black market, and he goes and informs on him that he was, and the other guy that he was selling in the black market. Right? It's typically called revenge, right? Yeah. Because people are very quick to say, the common thing people say, if somebody informs on you, you can go ahead and inform on him. Okay? But this is mistaken based on a number of reasons. Okay? If you want to be able to go ahead and go back at the guy and inform on him, there better be some real purpose in doing so more than just revenge. And you're doing that because otherwise he's gonna inform on you again. Now, again, let's assume that he's not allowed to inform on you, right? And you're afraid he's going to continue. Then already, if there's no other way to protect yourself, then there's a possibility of having permission to go and inform on him. But if your contention is only for the purpose of taking revenge, that is unquestionably forbidden. So even though he may have really messed you up by informing on you, if by informing on him you're not going to be able to protect yourself for the future, you're just going to go ahead and get back at him, then you're not allowed to do it. The only way it would be possible to do it is if the only way you can protect yourself for the future is to go do that, then it can be possibly permitted. If you ever have that situation, ask your local Orthodox rabbi before you do so. But that would be the possibility of permission. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Is there